speaker, Mr. Jack Revere. Our country is divided, not over illegal immigration, healthcare, or wealth redistribution. It is divided because many people do not understand the choice we are given by the Declaration of Independence. Please help me welcome Mr. Jack Revere and his speech squabble.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. Squabble, squabble, squabble. Try talking to someone about the Declaration of Independence, and immediately they start nitpicking about this, that, or something else. When we think about the Declaration of Independence, we need to consider two things. One is its place in history, in the timeline of history. The second is consider the specific purpose for why it was written. And if we do this, two things will be clear. One, it changed the world. Two, it is the cornerstone of our way of life. First, look at history. When the Declaration of Independence was written, England and France were 1,000 years old. Egypt was 3,000 years old. The civilizations of China and India were around 5,000 years old. During those 5,000 years, pharaohs, emperors, kings, and other despots ruled the world, ruled the masses with an iron fist. They made all decisions. They had all the power. They had two unwavering rules of policies. One was feed the army. Two was keep the masses ignorant. Meanwhile, most people lived and died just like their parents and grandparents had lived and died. They lived in poverty with no way out. There was no middle class. There was no safety net. They were more impoverished than today's homeless. In 1776, this 5,000-year political structure began to change. Call it a historical blip. This new political system was based on the concept of natural law. The idea of natural law is an ancient one. Suggestions of it can be found in the Bible. Philosophers, theologians, and scholars have written about it. The premise of natural law is that immediate and intuitive apprehension of moral and spiritual values. In other words, knowledge of what is right and just and what is wrong and unjust was placed by God in all men, and no legislative enactment or royal order could change what is right and what is wrong. In 1776, England's government was operated on a modified version of the 5,000-year system. King George III had inherited the throne. Under that system, he had the right to determine the rules his subjects would live by. Our founding fathers rebelled against the 5,000-year system and King George. The Declaration of Independence is a political document directed to the world in general and specifically to King George. To justify their rebellion, the founders relied on the idea of natural law. In the first sentence, they claimed their authority by the laws of nature and of nature's God entitled them. The second sentence gives us 4 examples of natural law. And I quote, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. All men are created equal is the most important. All the other rights flow from that equality. The immediate and intuitive apprehension of natural law shows me that you were not born the ruler of me. I was not born the ruler of you. King George was not born the ruler of us. In other words, no one is by nature the ruler of another. Years after writing the Declaration of Independence, Jefferson wrote in a personal letter that the light of science has shown that the mass of humanity was not born with saddles on their backs and a favored few booted and spurred, ready to ride them. Can anyone doubt that the Declaration of Independence is about who rules who? The third sentence says that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. It's a shame the rest of the world didn't follow our example. And it's even more frightening to know that the historical blip is fading. The world is trending toward another 5,000 years of tyranny. Stop the quibble.